Welcome back to another episode of Stepping in Faith, where together we explore the importance of having a relationship with God and how that relationship with God can impact the relationship you have with others. I'm your host, Walter. I'm joined here alongside my lovely wife.
Shania.
We don't have any notes this week. This is what, episode 25?
Mhm.
So I guess the way we started off is in prayer. I prayed last week, right?
I don't remember.
I think I did.
Okay.
I think I prayed last week. So it's my lovely wife's turn to pray. Lead us in prayer. Woman of God, prophet, seer.
Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for your love, your grace, and your mercy. Father God, we ask that you will open up our followers and listeners' eyes and ears to hear and see what it is that you're saying. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. That was a very short prayer.
Mhm.
Hmm. You look beautiful tonight.
Thank you. So do you.
Beautiful.
Handsome.
Okay. I appreciate you, babe. The light always be looking better with you.
Mm.
Just be kind of glistening.
Mm. Okay.
So I don't know what this week's title is. Um, what came to mind, and we will figure it out by the time we finish recording this episode. Um, this week's episode is an interesting one. Why is it interesting this week, babe?
This week, um, this episode is going to be about
We got to talk louder.
our testimony, how we met,
Hmm.
I guess. I don't really know exactly. We're just like going off the dome today.
My wife got that God wanted us to finally share how we met, which is so weird to me because I am so private. I'm very private. I don't like for people to be in our business,
Mhm.
and they've gotten in our business before and they've gotten it wrong. So, but I do understand that uh, I guess it's an amazing testimony. It's a powerful testimony. It's
Mhm.
an interesting story.
Mhm.
And so I believe it's a Genesis 2 story, a Matthew 19 story, right?
Mhm. God ordained.
God ordained marriage.
Yeah.
I guess that could be something along the title.
God ordained marriage. I think we already have an episode.
We will figure it out. So we
I don't know.
currently it is untitled. It is literally our story of how we met. So you want me to start or you start?
Mhm.
Because you had a prayer, right?
I did. I prayed and I have to go back and look at my journal. And I shared it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like a couple weeks ago when I found my journal?
Yeah, maybe a month.
Yeah, I prayed to God and asked him to give me someone who he desired for me. And then I had a list of qualities, but they weren't like superficial. They were um they were like I wanted you to be accepting of me. That was like my prayer. So it was like allow him to be okay with me being goofy and screaming randomly when I want to,
She does that a lot.
and be upset about it. Or when I get moody, you would be able to kind of mellow me out, or you would be understanding, which you are, because I do be moody sometimes. And what else did I ask for? I asked that you like stuff that I like. So like dorky stuff. And like even though we don't watch that stuff that we used to watch before.
Mhm.
So like same subjects, um, and then to be a family person because I was really family oriented. So I don't think there were anything superficial.
Mhm.
They were all things that I think a family or marriage should have.
Mhm.
That you should be accepting of me, and I am accepting of you, and that there's nothing that I have to change about myself
Mhm.
to in order to be loved by you or liked by you. And so that's what I wanted. But the ultimate prayer was, God, just give me whoever it is that you want
Yeah.
me to have.
I don't think I had a particular prayer because I had strayed away from the church. And so during that period of time, especially during the pandemic, was just coming out of a really horrible relationship and a really horrible marriage. And I was finding myself. So I was beginning to notice that there were similarities in the relationships and things like that.
Mhm,
So I was trying to figure out what it was.
mhm,
Yet interestingly, my mother was praying for me. She said
mhm,
she consistently prayed for me. And her prayer was always that God would lead me to whom he had called for me to be with, in so many words.
mhm, mhm,
And so I had a dream
mhm,
a couple of months before meeting you.
mhm,
And in that dream, it was me and it was this young lady, petite, very long black hair. We all had white on. We had white. We were sitting or standing next to a white table.
mhm,
We were in a church because I remember there being like a stage that you have like in those churches.
mhm.
Like, I don't know what you would call it, but like
In the
the
pulpit?
pulpit. Yes, is that a pulpit? I thought the pulpit is what they stand behind.
I don't know.
But yeah, it was like set up like a church, and everything was just white. Everybody had on white, and I remember it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was three chairs
Mm,
that was at the front of the church. It
mhm,
was someone in the middle of the chair with someone on one side and someone on the other side.
mhm,
And I won't get into the details, but we had a conversation. The person in the dream, I had a conversation with this young lady, and my entire life flashed before my eyes with her. And I knew in the dream I could not do life without her. And I woke up and it stood out so much because I rarely dreamed
mhm,
before
mhm.
my conversion. And I told two of my friends about it. And then I just put it on the side.
Yeah.
And I believe that was a few months, if I'm not mistaken. If not, it was like April or possibly March that I had that dream. But it was right before we met. It was in the same year. It was in the same year.
So it was like a month before?
Possibly, possibly a month, 2 months most.
Mhm,
Because I remember talking to Brittany about the dream and she remembered the dream. And interestingly, fast forward when I was going through my conversion, God brought the dream back to me because I forgot about the dream.
mhm,
And he also brought the conversation back to me that I had with Brittany
mhm.
about
About
the
the
dream.
dream. Mhm,
So, so let's get started. Um, we met. I had purchased a pair of Yeezys. We were in the same complex,
yeah.
and I was excited to get these Yeezys. I was getting back on my shoe game, and got the notification that they came. I was at work, working from home, working remotely, and I was gonna wait to go and get them until after I got off. It wasn't a big deal. But I just felt this urge to go and get them right then and there. So I went to the parcel locker to go and get them right there. And were you going in or coming out?
I was going in. I actually was on my way home from the gym and I had a package, but I was gonna go get it later, but I didn't. Something told me to just make a U-turn. So I just made a U-turn and I went to the parcel locker because I
Mhm.
don't usually even go that time of day.
Yeah, yeah. And so we met each other. I saw you and I was like, okay, she's beautiful. And I still do photography, but I'm like, I never shot anyone or I never did a photo shoot with anyone that had natural curly hair. I don't even know how I knew you had curly hair. Did you have your hair in curls or did you have a ponytail that had curls in it or something like that?
No, my hair was out.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
my
I was like, this would be dope. You're a beautiful woman. I've never did a photo shoot with anyone with curly hair. I would love to do a photo shoot with you.
Now
And
mind you guys, he waited for me. I went into the parcel locker, had no idea he was there, and I come out and he
here we
was
go.
standing by his car like he was about to go get in his car, but you didn't. You saw me.
She's trying to say I was like pressed. Okay.
I'm not saying you was pressed. I'm just saying that you
It
noticed me
wasn't,
and
I
you didn't
noticed you.
go to your car and go home.
I noticed you, yes. But it wasn't from the perspective of like, oh, I gotta get with her. It was from the perspective of like, I would love to work with her.
Oh, I think she's dope.
Yes. And so she gave me her Instagram, y'all. She gave me her Instagram.
I didn't give out my phone number.
So fast forward, we're getting in the car to go. She leaves. I'm leaving. Now it's like we're going in the same direction. And I'm like, this girl is going to think I am stalking her. And come to find out, she lived a building over from me.
Yes.
So she went into her building. I went into mine. Mind you, I had never seen her or her car or either one of her cars at any, like, I've never had noticed it before.
Yeah.
I never seen her before, never seen her cars, which was so weird because like it was right there where
Mhm.
it was no reason that I would not have seen her or her vehicles
Mhm.
because of how I parked and where I parked my car. And I looked back on some of the photos I took of my vehicle because I used to wash my car. I'm in the cars, blah, blah, blah. And I saw her car in the photos, but I never noticed it before.
Yeah, I had been living there for like what, 7 months?
Mhm.
7 months there, and
At that
I
time,
yeah,
I thought she was there longer.
I was there in 20
'Cause you moved there in 21, right?
yeah, 21.
And this was in 22. Okay.
Mhm.
So 7 months.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, we met in 22,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Had
Mhm.
no clue.
Excuse me.
Had no clue.
Had no clue, never seen you, didn't know your car existed, nothing.
Yeah.
And I used to walk and run in the neighborhood,
Mhm.
um, never saw you.
So we do that. I go on her social media, and this is so interesting. I did not agree with the stuff that she was posting. And this will be this would be a nugget for women. Um, be mindful of what you post on social media because it even with the type of women that I would do photography with, it was a certain look that I would go for.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, if you didn't have that look, I didn't deal with you because I like the sophisticated looks.
Mhm.
The less is more, not the less is in like showing everything type
Mhm.
situation.
Mhm.
And so I was like, okay, my homeboy, I sent him the gram and he was like, hook me up, hook me up. I'm like, I got you, bro. Like, but I'm trying to do this photo shoot. So calm down. I'm trying to do this photo shoot. What are you saying? It was always a case that she was beautiful, but that's not what caught my attention. And then I think we was trying to set up a date. Did you stand me up for the first date? Or did we, because I know we shot after, or we did the photo shoot after Mother's Day.
No, you had wanted to do the photo shoot, maybe a different time, and I couldn't do it,
Mhm.
and then we did the photo shoot.
And when we did the photo shoot, she showed up late.
I don't remember that.
I remember it like it was the back of my hand because she finally trusted me enough to get my phone number the day of, and I gave her mine and texted me and said that she was gonna be running a little bit behind. An hour later, she showed up there.
Mm.
Music blasting, windows down, this little, I don't know if you would call it a scarf or something like that, silk scarf around her hair like she was coming from Paris or something like that. Just extra, extra. Like, okay, extra. I'm like, okay, let's do this. So we did the photo shoot, right? Talking to her. Um, Full disclosure, because I think that'll go into later. There was some stuff that was going on with you, and I was trying to make you aware of, but you didn't receive it. You want to speak on that?
Oh, yeah, because I, I dressed I always had my boobs out.
Mm-hmm.
My breast was always showing,
Mm-hmm.
which I was used to,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm fairly heavy-chested woman,
Mm-hmm.
and so because of the previous relationship I was in,
Mm-hmm.
it was like that was, like, my best asset, and so I felt like I had to show it, and then I showed it so much
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't know how much was too much
Mm-hmm.
because I was so used to them being out
Mm-hmm.
all the time.
So I was telling her, I'm like, hey, they're coming out. Oh, it's cool. I'm like, all right. And it just added to like what I saw, and I was like, all right, whatever. We do the photo shoot. Photo shoot was cool, um, but it was after the photo shoot we had a conversation, and
It was
we
during the photo shoot.
it was during too, yeah.
Yeah,
And after we ended
and it
up,
kinda carried on till after the photo shoot.
like chopping it up for like 2 hours.
Mhm,
I feel, and it's like it was weird because as we conversed, what you were saying didn't align with what you post,
mhm,
and it really had me confused.
mhm.
And so it was just like immediately it was something within you that was drawing me to you,
Yeah,
which was weird for me because it was not like the outward appearance, and it's not that you were unattractive. You're a beautiful woman, and I
mhm,
know that. It was something deeper, and we didn't want to stop talking, but we had to go.
yeah.
So I went and told my friends about how I had this conversation with her and how like amazing of a conversation it was and how chill she was and all of these things. And she went and she told her friends the same thing.
This is true. We both didn't have, like, a natural attraction to each other. Like,
Mhm.
I thought he was handsome, but I wasn't, like, extremely attracted to him, like,
Mhm.
in a way where I was like, "Oh, like, I gotta make him my boyfriend," or anything like that.
Mhm.
But it was just, like, when we started talking, I was like, "Oh, I like the way he thinks." I like we vibed.
Mhm.
We vibed on the photo shoot,
Mhm.
even though he said he just wanted to do a photo shoot.
We gonna keep it what it is. But I think was it that day or was it the next day or some other time? At some point I reached out to you to try to set up a date,
Mhm,
and we had our first date at the coffee shop,
mhm.
which was also a breakfast spot.
Yes.
Cause I was talking to my homeboys, like, make sure you don't spend a lot of money. You take her somewhere. There's like a chill spot that you ain't spending a lot of money. You get to know her. And that's what I did. And we talked more and we vibed out. But she had gotten her feelings because I was having a conversation with this guy about Volkswagen GTIs.
Yes, because he's into cars, and so I don't even know how you guys got onto this, but
He
they
saw
were
my car.
oh, yeah, that's right, your car wasn't parked in front of the
Yeah.
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 the coffee shop,
Uh-huh.
and you guys talked for like 45 minutes.
We did, and his girlfriend or wife was there too, and she understood it, but
I've never experienced anything like that before ever. And I'm like, "Okay." Like, it was intriguing because it was like, "Okay, I'm glad he has, like, hobbies, like, he has something that he's really passionate about." And I'm like, "That's cool, that's different." But I was like, "Okay." I'm just sitting here because I don't know anything about cars. I
mhm,
have no idea what they're talking about.
mhm,
It was like foreign language to me.
mhm. She was in her feelings.
I wasn't in my feelings,
You
but
were
I
in your
thought it was a little
rude.
rude, yes.
And it was just me being me because it's like when I start getting to talking about even to this day, she knows this.
Yeah, now it doesn't bother me
Yeah.
because
But even to this day, if someone stops and we would start talking about cars, especially if it's a Volkswagen GTI, if it's an Audi or something of that nature, or a
we can
BMW.
pull up next to a car and he'll roll the window down. "Hey, dude, I like that's nice. I like that."
Yeah, like that's
And
that's the
they'll
car
sit and talk,
community.
and I'm just like,
Yeah, and she just be trying to get out of the way.
"Okay."
I like cars. I don't love because a lot of people say love. I don't worship them, but
Mhm,
I admire different type of vehicles.
mhm,
But we did that. I thought it was cool. I didn't want the date to end. Definitely wanted to get to know her more. I was reaching out to her. I was texting her, calling her. I would call her and she would literally wait 2 days to respond. I would text her and she would text me the next day. And I didn't understand it because I'm like, I'm thinking that we vibing, we good, we chilling, and it just was not happening. It took me so much to get another date out of you. You kept postponing the date.
mhm,
And I think the second date we went to the aquarium,
mhm.
which I thought was like super dope. I was trying to think of something that everybody take everybody out to eat. I'm like, aquarium would be cool. It's fun. It's chill. Took her out, paid for a parking, all that stuff. She was playing hard to get, y'all.
I was.
She was playing hard to get.
I was.
And so we went through, I think something happened. We had a conversation before I went to the Netherlands
Mhm.
and we stopped talking. Hmm.
Did we stop talking?
Yeah. Cause we listen, my wife was in a different space at the time. And so she had the audacity to tell me that I was at the bottom of a list.
Did I tell you that before you went to the Netherlands?
Yeah.
Oh.
She had a whole roster, is what she told me. And I'm like, I bet I don't want to be on the roster then. Cause I ain't have no roster. It was just her I was talking to. Cause granted, like prior to her, I wasn't really chopping it up with anyone. I had gotten out of a really crazy relationship. And so I was just cool being by myself.
Mhm,
I was at the house playing the game. I would take myself out to dinner. This is something men, you gotta be comfortable just kind of being in your own skin and not being so hard pressed. But she told me that and it really hurt me. I ain't gonna lie. I was broken. I was talking to my friends like, why she do me like this? And I don't get it. This why I ain't want to be out here anyway. I don't even understand it. But it was just like something that was just tugging at me to where I could not let this situation go. So I think we went a few weeks without talking, right?
maybe so.
And I saw you. Did you text me? I think you text me.
I think I text you.
Yeah. And then we started kind of talking, but not really. And I went to the Netherlands. I talked to you a little bit before I went to the Netherlands. Bought you a cake for your birthday. Nothing but cake.
Yeah, you did, which was really nice.
And then we was just kind of off and on talking, but really not dating. And I came back and we hit it off. I think in September. I don't know what took place. And we went for a strong 2 months, possibly three, right?
When?
From like September to like November.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We was pretty strong.
And she was just, how was you, baby?
Excuse me. Um, mind you, I wasn't even talking to anybody. I did say that he was on my roster just because I had just come out of a relationship, a divorce, and I was I was I was not trying to play myself. I was not trying to play myself. I also we both didn't want to be in a relationship, and I think you were more open to the idea, but I just was not.
Because she was like, "Oh, you just really like me a lot." Because I never understood it. I did not want to be with anyone, and I did not. It was weird because I was not attracted to her. It was something inside her, and I will always tell her, "You're beautiful, but that's not what catches my attention." And it weirded me out
Mhm.
because
And it didn't really make sense to me either.
yeah, but it was like it was something within her that I was attracted to or that caught my attention. Like I wasn't trying to have, this is grown people channel. I wasn't trying to have sex with her or anything like that. I just enjoyed her company and I really genuinely just wanted to get to know her more and gain a greater understanding of who she was. Um, and I didn't understand it because like I was just always used to just going after physical and just
Mhm.
that being it.
Mhm.
And so it was different with her. And I remember having conversations with friends and them being like, "Oh, you just really you love her." And I'm like, "That ain't it. That ain't it."
That was it. But no, it was cool because, like, when we would get together, like, when I came over to your house, like, I had never acted like that before with anybody.
Yo, the first time Shania came to my
It
house,
was like it was like
what did you do with
it
my
was like
sofa? She jumped on my sofa like she was 5 years old, yo. I was like, "What's wrong with this girl? What's wrong with her?" We was playing Mortal Kombat, right? We was playing Mortal Kombat, and she was jumping all over me like she was a kid because she was losing.
I wasn't
You was
losing.
losing,
I hadn't played in a long
but
time.
you were losing.
Whatever.
She was getting her behind whipped in Mortal
No,
Kombat.
no, 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 no.
She was getting destroyed.
But, like, I went over there not expecting anything, obviously, but I was like, we literally lived in the same apartment complex, so I'm like, I just walked over.
Mhm.
Walked over to his apartment, and I wasn't expecting anything. We was just gonna play the game, and, I was just being myself. I wasn't trying to be anyone different. I wasn't trying to make myself look a certain type of way or make you think of me any certain type of way. I was literally just like myself.
She was. She was very comfortable, and I'll leave
I
it
was
at that.
extremely comfortable for
She
some
was
odd reason. I don't
very
know.
comfortable, jumping on the sofa, laughing as she's jumping on the sofa.
I
I'm
had
like
never been to his house before.
like, "First time.
Never.
First time. I don't even jump on my sofa." And she was jumping on it. I'm like, "Yo, what is going on here?" And then I'm like going and getting groceries for her and running errands and all that stuff. And I felt so weirded out. I'm like, why am I doing this for this girl? This don't make sense. I don't want to do this. Why am I doing this? What's wrong with me?
I didn't even ask. I didn't ask you to get me groceries or anything like that, but you offered and I would be like, "No, no, no." And you would just insist, and I'm like, "Alright, cool."
Cooked for her. She said my food ain't have no seasoning, y'all. Hurt my little feelings. Did you not say that?
No, I didn't. No, you had seasoning. We were talking about our other recipes, and I asked you what you put in your food, and you didn't give me enough seasoning. And
See?
I
See?
asked you who gave you that recipe, and I knew it was your coworkers from work, and they wasn't black.
Listen, listen, to my white sisters and brothers out there, we love y'all too. Okay? But you gonna leave my food
He
alone.
didn't have no Cajun seasoning. He didn't
I
even know
did
what
put
no
Cajun season. I
he
put
didn't even know
Cajun
what
season in
Tony's
everything.
was.
I didn't know Tony's, but I would at
Mm-mm,
least I would use Cajun, I would use garlic, I would use paprika, I would use all that stuff. Sea
mhm,
salt.
and pepper, right?
It was some other stuff I would use.
No, it's not.
But we getting off subject.
Mhm.
So we went through some stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. You kinda not going into a lot of detail.
I mean, what do you mean I'm not going into details? How much details you want me to go into?
No, I don't even know where to go, to be honest with you.
We had some conversations where my wife just let me have it a few times.
Honestly, you guys, I had came out of this relationship, out of this marriage that I was in. I got a divorce, and I had dated, and it felt like after I got out of that divorce, I dated someone I thought I was kinda gonna be in a relationship with, and that didn't work out, and then I dated some more people, and I didn't want to be in a relationship anymore, and I just didn't wanna be put in a box. I felt like he was trying to put me in a box, and I felt like I didn't have control. And I think coming out of that relationship that I was in, where I was controlled and abused, that now that I was out of it, I felt like I had to be the one to take control over my life.
Mm.
And so and so I didn't want that same thing. I didn't wanna feel like I didn't have control over what was gonna happen to me.
Which is why this is why it's important, both us as men and women, we have to be mindful that we are healed, whole, like completely. We've done episodes on that because if you don't, what happens is you start viewing everybody through that lens,
Mhm,
and especially like if you're walking in unforgiveness, the Bible touches on this. You will literally start. That's why the Bible tells us to forgive. It's not for the other person; it's for you.
mhm.
Because what we notice in life is that you become the very thing that you hate so much.
Yeah.
You become the very person that you hate so much.
Yeah, and I couldn't really receive anything that he was giving to me, even though they were everything that I wanted or thought I wanted, but as you would buy me things, you would talk to me nicely, which I loved, and I always told you that, but, like, just the things you would do, I couldn't really accept it because it wasn't something that was done for me before, and I was doing everything for myself, and so, I don't know, it was like I couldn't even, like, receive it.
Mhm. So we went through a series of conversations that was really challenging. And then on my end,
Mhm,
of course, and it's not scriptural, it's not First Corinthians 13, but on my end, I was doing things for her, but I was also expecting things in return.
mhm,
And so that's also not of God because the Bible and what God dealt with me on as I went through my conversion is um, loving in spite of.
mhm,
And that was a challenge because the world will teach you that as I love, you should reciprocate that love. You should give me what I'm giving to you,
right,
and I should give you what I'm giving.
mhm,
From a godly perspective, you should, but that shouldn't be the reason that you're doing it.
right,
And that
to get
goes in
something back.
exactly.
Yeah,
And that delves into like First Corinthians 13.
mhm,
Everyone read. It's
mhm,
great to have an understanding of what love is.
mhm.
But we had a series of conversations that was really like a turning point in our situationship because you never wanted to admit that we was in a relationship,
No.
even though when I was like, okay, we don't have to call this quits because my wife kept trying to make it appear as if she was entertaining other people when she wasn't. Even though one time you did
What do you mean?
when you went out the day before we went to the aquarium.
It was just one date.
Still, I was like, bro, if I
I
do
never
that,
talked to him before after that.
I felt some type of way, y'all. I was like, bro, I'm spending my hard earned money out here in these streets. Men know, and that's what we doing. But she had created this based on conversations she had with her friends.
Mhm,
She created this thing where it was like she had me thinking that she was entertaining other people.
mhm,
So it created an insecurity in me,
mhm,
a heavy insecurity. So I was always wondering what she's doing, who she's doing it with. Am I the only one that she's talking to? And I never dealt with that before.
mhm.
And it also dealt with just some things that was unresolved as well because of rejection and all of that stuff. Just things that I dealt with as a kid.
Yeah, which is crazy because, like, he was like, "I can't do this. Like, you talking to multiple people, and I can't talk to you no more."
Hmm.
And I just started crying.
She was crying uncontrollably.
I was crying. I didn't even understand why I was
And I'm
crying.
like, why are you crying? You telling me you talking to other people and you want to
Because I
change?
really wasn't. And, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he thinks that I'm, like, out here in these streets."
I did think she was out there in
But
the
I'm
streets.
like, "But I wasn't."
Mhm.
And I don't know, it was just I didn't have very good advice. I don't know, I hadn't dated in,
The people she
like,
was taking advice from was
14,
apparently
15 years
them boys was
prior to
apparently
this,
for the streets.
prior to 2020.
But my friends at the time was telling me that it sounded like because she kept telling me she didn't wanna be boxed in, and I had decent friends. I had some good friends. Some of them was, but one of the things that the theme was she had came out of a controlling relationship is what it sounded like. My female friends would tell me that she dealt with someone that was very controlling and, that she needed to be healed. She needed to be healed. But we had a series of conversations that the people don't need to know about, and it was really taxing on your boy. Some
Mhm,
stuff that was said, and you decided you didn't wanna be with me no more.
mhm. 'Cause I didn't wanna be in a relationship.
What you told me, you said to me, and I think it's important because it sets the stage of where we were
Mhm,
when things ended. You told me that you would never marry me.
mhm.
You told me you would never marry me.
I did say that.
And
I
so
was being mean, though.
oh, she was being
I was
vicious.
being mean because, like, I wanted to be friends, and he didn't wanna be friends, and I didn't wanna be in a relationship, and so, there was this
We was butting
we
heads.
was butting heads
'Cause I'm like, I don't need no more
consistently.
f and I told you, I don't need no more female friends. I got female friends.
We were butting heads
Mhm.
consistently, and, like, then I would be like, "No, I don't wanna, I don't wanna do this anymore. I just wanna be friends." And then he would like, "Okay, well, we could be friends." And then we wouldn't be friends because he would be wanna be my boyfriend, and I'm like, "No,
But she
I
was
don't
enjoying
wanna
all of
be."
it. She wanted the benefits of me being
No,
yeah, you
no, no,
did,
no.
because you enjoyed the stuff that took place that was more than friends. Don't even pretend. She enjoyed all the benefits of having a boyfriend without having the title. She wanted to put your boy in a situationship, and I'm like, "I don't get down like that. It's too expensive in these streets to be
Mm,
doing
mm,
situationships."
mhm.
Let's call it what it is. But it was I think to set the stage, we were in a space where there was no coming back. There was no she did everything except block me.
I could not block this man for the life of me.
And I remember us having a
I couldn't
conversation.
block him for nothing, and that's why it was like I would say things that would be really mean so that he would leave me alone, but then he wouldn't, and so I would say even more mean things so that he would leave me alone. But honestly, I would've just blocked him, but I could not.
And we had a conversation in the car, and she was like, "I don't understand. I can't let you go." And I'm like, "I don't understand. I can't let you go either. And I don't want to do this because you are saying stuff to me that's very mean. I don't like how you treat me. I don't like what's going on." And granted, it's because of what she had came from and
Mhm,
what she had dealt with. I didn't understand it at the time, but that's what it was. And so we was just at this odds when we came to an end in November.
mhm.
And I remember having conversations with my friends, like, I don't, know how to get past this. I'm struggling. They're like, why? I'm like, I don't know. It's just, if I feel like I'm still attached to her and I don't get it. I don't get it. I was talking to everybody about it and I
Yeah, it
was
was
trying to
weird.
figure
There
it
was
out.
no reason why we should have felt the way we felt about each other
Nah.
because we hadn't known each other that long.
Yeah. I
We
don't
hadn't
know.
known each other that long.
And, but it was like a
So
part of me.
it should have been easier for me to just block you and, like, just X you out.
And it should have been easier for me to just go out in the streets and just run wild. And I couldn't. Boys was trying to get me out. My homegirl was trying to get me out. All this stuff. Like, and I just couldn't do it. And November 26th, November 26th, I believe it was November 26th, 2022, is when I was laying in my bed in that apartment and it was like 9 o'clock at night. And I heard the voice of God audibly. And I had just got off the phone with my friends and everything. And he said, "You ask everybody about what their thoughts was with your relationship. When you gonna ask me?" And I knew it was God, and I asked him.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts? And he was like, you were loving her the way you were loving her because I called you to love her that way. Your problem was you were supposed to love her through me. And I'm like, what? That don't make sense. What do you mean I was supposed to love her through you? What do you mean I'm supposed to love her that way? You see how she treated me? Like, what you talking about? You were supposed to love her through me. I called you to love her that way. And he started, like, I started having these series of encounters with God. And it was crazy because I think I talked to you about the fact that I was not getting any sleep the last time we spoke
Mhm,
before it just kind of went left. And I told you I was not getting any sleep and I was being like, I could not rest. Like I could not rest. And it's because my sister, she was praying for me. My sister in the faith, she was praying for me.
mhm,
She told me later on that she was praying that God would remove my sleep because God had her praying for me. Um, because I contemplated trying to rekindle things with my ex because I missed my child.
mhm,
And God was telling her, pray, because that was the enemy trying to get me back into something
mhm,
and get me caught up.
mhm,
And so it was just God took me through that journey from there. And I began to have dreams. He reminded me of the dream I had in um, earlier in the year. He reminded me of the conversation I had. He reminded me of dreams I had years prior to even meeting you and told me that those dreams were dreams I was given to you about her. Those dreams was about her. I didn't even remember the dreams I had. I knew, like, even in the previous relationship I was in, I was not supposed to be there.
mhm,
Uh, and God just began to talk to me. And he didn't immediately tell me you were my wife.
mhm,
He just kind of made, like, he would talk about you supposed to love her this way. This is how you're supposed to do this. You're supposed to pour into her. You were doing those things, but you was not loving her unconditionally. You was loving her conditionally. You're supposed to love her through me, consistently saying all this stuff. And
mhm,
my homegirl sent me a Bishop T.D. Jakes sermon.
mhm.
And I listened to the sermon. And that's when he finally told me that you were my wife. And I was like, no, she's not. You,
I don't want her to
I
be.
don't want her to be my wife. She treated me like trash. Want nothing to do with this woman.
Keep
And he took me through it
you keep moving your head down.
because I'm hot.
You hot?
And so God took me through the process, yo. And it's like I'm paraphrasing because we're looking at time, but I started travailing. I didn't even know what travailing was. Never did it a day in my life. It exists, everyone. My wife, the father had me travailing for my wife. He had me travailing for me. He had me travailing for your salvation. And it was like when you travail, you're birthing something forth. So it's
Mhm,
like birthing pains. So it's like what women go through when they have childbirth, but it's a
mhm,
spiritual perspective.
mhm,
And he had me praying day in, day out. I was battling. I would be having to go into the car and pray. I didn't understand it. He would tell me, pray for you walking to the car, pray for you coming back from the car. I would have dreams about the stuff that you were doing. I would have dreams about why you were dealing with the stuff that you was dealing with. There was nothing my wife was doing that I didn't already know about. Then he started having me pray for you. And I think the travailing ended, it started in December, the beginning of December. And I believe it ended in like January, the
mhm,
beginning of January.
mhm.
But I tried to reach out to you.
Yeah.
And I left a Christmas present for you
Mhm,
uh, after Christmas.
mhm.
And when I left the Christmas present for you, I did that out of my own
Yeah,
Mary,
you
though.
asked me if you can get me a present, and I told you no.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with him no more. Because if I talk to him, then he's gonna think that I want to be with him,
Hmm.
and then we're gonna start talking, and I don't want that to happen. I just don't want no contact. So I
Hmm.
went no contact. He would text me, he would
She
call
would ignore
me.
me.
I would ignore him.
Then God would have me do random things like send her money, do this, do that, and I would feel like a fool. Um, Tell me to say certain things to her, I would feel crazy. Like I don't, and I would be battling with the father. Like I don't want to do this. No, she's gonna look at me like I'm crazy. She don't like me. She don't appreciate me. I'm not doing it. He even had me apologize to her, which it was hard to do. I did not want to apologize because I feel like she wronged me. Why I'm apologizing to her? She need to apologize to me. Took me through the process. So we went through it. We were going back and forth. She would get mad because God would tell me to say something to her. I would say it to her. She wouldn't want to hear it. And he kept reminding me that my ministry started with you.
Mhm.
And there were instances where I, struggled with possibly just letting it go and being with someone else or
Mhm.
not being with anyone at all. And he would give me dreams, just kind of showcasing that if you do this, what I would take you through is not going to be good.
Yeah.
So we went through that for some months, um, of me praying for you, praying for you, praying for you, and God saying that you were my wife. And he always referred to you as my wife. He never referred to you as just Shanae or whatever, your wife. Your wife. If I did something wrong, your wife, your wife, your wife, your wife. Because we know when God sees us, he sees us incomplete. He
Mhm.
sees us in a complete state.
Mhm.
And this is everyone where a lot of the revelations that we speak on now came from. It
Mhm.
was during that period because God took me through a period of like a consecration without me even realizing it. He removed my desire to have sex because me and my wife was sexually active prior. He removed. I had exes reaching. I had an ex or exes reaching out to me, trying to link up. God would tell me before it would happen. He would show me what their heart desire was. Even with friends, he would show me what their heart desire was.
Mhm.
And so I had no desire for sex. The music I was listening to, he removed that. The shows and TV I was watching, he shifted that. Everything, and just was taking me through the process. What was going on with you as I was going through the process, babe?
Um, I don't really remember what was going on with me. I mean, I had started to, I was into, I would have considered myself a spiritualist. And so, like doing yoga, I was in ancestral worship. I had just kind of stopped doing those things. I didn't really know why. I just kind of just stopped doing it. And obviously it was because my husband was praying for me. I didn't know. And so life kind of like mellowed out a little bit. Um, but I was really just focused on work. I was working. Um, and then I would get these text messages from you talking about how you gave your life to Christ and God is speaking to you. And he would send me these long messages about what God has been saying to him about me and that he is my husband. And I was like, no, you're not. You're not my husband. You're never going to be my husband. You're not going to be my husband. I don't want you to be my husband.
And I would feel so stupid, everyone, because I would sit on these things and I would have God continually coming at me until I would send the message to her. I did not want to send the messages to her. I didn't. I'm like, God, can you have someone else tell her? Can you have someone else do this? And he reminded me that my ministry started with her. And so I had to be obedient. If I wasn't obedient, he would not let me rest.
And I could not block him. I still couldn't block him. I still couldn't block you after you telling me that I thought this man was crazy. I thought he was a plumb fool. I thought you were crazy. I thought you was a stalker. I thought you
She was telling people I
was
was stalking her and everything, y'all.
he would text me because I just didn't understand why you couldn't leave me alone.
I wanted to. I didn't understand it either because I would literally have dreams
And
and it would literally be she could not do anything without God already showing me what she was doing.
mhm,
There was nothing that she was doing that I did not know. Nothing. Because I told you about how I wasn't dreaming before, but after my encounter with God, I was having 7 to 8 dreams or so per night. And I would remember every single one of them because God would wake me up after every dream. I
mhm,
was being awakened every hour in the hour. And so it was really intense. I would have visions, I
mhm,
would have encounters and all of those different
mhm.
things.
Right. So encounters like you would see me and then in a vision, and
Mhm,
then it would happen in real life.
mhm,
Like I would be leaving my car or
mhm.
going. somewhere the
Mhm.
exact same way that God showed it to you.
Mhm.
And at that time, like I said, I was just working. I would go to my spa. I would do the things that I normally do. I think I had like, there was like 3 instances where I parked my car and I was gonna go to your house, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna go. And there was moments when I was gonna call you, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna call them.
And God would be telling me that she's gonna reach out, and it was those instances that she did not.
Like, I felt like I wanted to go to your house, and I'm like, "Nope, I'm not gonna go. I'm gonna give him back all his stuff because I had borrowed some things.
She still wear my clothes.
I borrowed some clothes, some hoodies. You know, girls, I borrowed a hoodie and a coat and, a
To the
bomber
married couples out
jacket."
here, do y'all struggle with the fact that to the men, to my fellas, tell me, do you struggle with the fact that you no longer have anything? My wife will wear all my stuff. She wear my socks, she wear my shirt, she wear my sweaters. She wear my hats. I will go out and I don't even realize she has it on until we are at church or something. We're out to dinner and I'm like, that's not where'd you what you ain't got no hat. Like you got on my hat.
Anyway, so I put all his stuff in a bag and I left it at his front door. I don't even think I rang the doorbell or
I
nothing.
was in bed.
I just sat it in front of your door, hoping that nobody stole it.
You telling me it wasn't you, but I saw
It was
you.
not
I
me.
saw you. I seen you
It wasn't me. You
coming
didn't
down.
cinch me.
I seen you.
You didn't.
But we're gonna agree to disagree.
Mhm.
So
It was somebody else in the complex that looked like me. It wasn't me.
but there was no reason for her to be up there. We went through all of this stuff, and it came. I had a dream, right? Well, I don't know what happened. I came. Something took place when I saw you
Mhm.
because I was trying to, I would be told to reach out to, take her out.
You guys, I would look outside the window, outside the blinds to
Hmm.
make sure that you wasn't outside
Hmm.
so that I could go get in my car
Hmm.
so that you wouldn't see me.
Hmm.
And there were plenty of times where I've seen you going to your car and coming from your car, and I'm about to leave my house, and I would just sit there. Like, I had my cousin and the babies in the car, and I didn't come outside. My cousin was like, "What's going" I'm like, "I can't go outside right now," because
And
I was waiting for
And I
you
was not checking
to
for this woman at
leave.
all. I wanted nothing to do with her. I didn't want to
But
deal with
I
it.
didn't even want you to see me.
I didn't want to deal with it. I'm fighting with God over this. I'm battling like I don't want to deal with this. I feel like a fool. I feel like an idiot. This don't make sense. Why can't I be with someone else? Why can't I do this with someone else? Why can't I just have you and me? Like it just be me and you, God. I'm Gucci with that. All this stuff. I mean, it was crazy. And the enemy was fighting because I had like people trying to come at me. God would tell me people was going to try to approach, and they would approach it the exact way, looking the exact same way that they looked in a dream. I'm telling you, it was crazy. But it was something that she needed from me, and it was
Mm,
something I needed from her.
mhm,
Going through this thing because we're pressed for time, and we'll probably finish out next week. But going through this thing really put me into a situation of realizing that me being connected to her unlocked a lot of stuff because in my marriage that I was in before, I never dreamed.
mhm,
I never had visions.
mhm,
I never encountered God. I
mhm.
went to church, yet I did not know God.
Yeah,
It wasn't until me and her came together that things shifted,
yeah,
where I actually heard the audible voice of God. And and it had been a while since I heard the audible voice of God.
yeah.
I was in it had been a while since I literally heard God speak to me.
Mhm.
I'm talking like years, like when I was probably in my early 20s
Yeah.
and just kind of maybe even like when I heard God speak and I encountered like this supernatural God.
Mhm,
So that was something that was interesting to me. And there were a slew of revelations that God provided with regards to marriages and relationships and just really showcasing that I did things wrong. But interestingly, what was so unique with us, we finally met. I don't know why she decided to start back talking to me, but she did. And I believe God was dealing with her too, because he told me he was. Um,
Well, that's because, like, I was talking to 2 people and they were like, "Well, maybe he is Shanae. Maybe he is your husband. Maybe you should, like, talk to him. Maybe he really is a prophet. Maybe he really is a man of God because of what he's
People, please don't be
saying."
reaching out to the emails or anything. I'm just Walter. But go ahead, man.
Sorry. I'm sorry, babe. I put you out
It's
there
fine.
like
Don't
that.
put me out there.
Okay, man of God.
Thank you.
Um, they were like, "Yeah, well, maybe he really is. Like, maybe he really genuine. Maybe everything that he's saying is true." And I'm like, "Okay, well, maybe so. Maybe so." But the reason why I could not block you, I just could not talk to you. There was like a sweet spot in me for you that I could not X you out completely.
And I think we went on a date, and the date went horrible. The date was horrible.
Oh, you had asked me to go on a date with you,
Yes.
and I would finally agreed
Mm-hmm.
because I said no multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, all right, maybe he did change. I don't know. We'll see.
And oh yeah, and just it was crazy, y'all. Like God had me sending her flowers. He would have me so into her life money, and I would hate it. I'm like, this don't make sense. And he would consistently tell me that she's good ground. She's good ground to sow into.
Isn't that crazy? Because I would just get these cash apps just randomly from him, and they'd be significant amounts of money. And
That
I
I did
would,
not want to do. I'm like, God, I could buy me some shoes. I could
and
do
I
this
would
for
be like,
myself.
why is he sending this to me? I'm not even talking to him. I really thought he was crazy. I was like, I don't even wanna talk to him. I don't want him to know that I even received anything, or I don't want him to know nothing because I think he's nuts.
Listen,
Because anybody who does not respond to you, you should not be trying to pursue, and I
no,
just could not for the life of me understand why he was trying to pursue me. But
no.
I also still didn't understand, because I wasn't able to receive
Mm-mm.
at all. Um, and so it was weird to me. So like him wanting to talk to me all the time, it was just like not normal for me, and I just couldn't get down with the get down.
And the thing is that while there was two things that was taking place, it was very uncomfortable for me. But it was God was breaking me. He was breaking something inside me because there
Mm,
was a pride inside me.
mm,
And so he was breaking something inside me. Yet he was also using me, and this is what he explained to me. He was using me to show Shania how much he loved her.
mhm,
So he would have me text her certain things that came from
mhm,
him and say, tell her that I said this about her. Because she couldn't hear God. So he was like, tell her I said this about her. Tell her I said that. Tell her I said this. Or say this to her, or say that to her, or say this, or tell her about this, or tell her this is what I've called her to. It's stuff that I did not need. It's no way I could have known there was things that was already in her that she knew that I knew nothing about that God had revealed to me about her. And so it was just like that's what was going on. And it was crazy. She never at the time admitted that those things were true, but then she finally admitted afterwards when we came back together.
yeah. But I didn't really read the text messages. I read them, but I was just so I don't know. I just off-putting. I was very off-putting, and I didn't want to accept any of the text messages, and I was like, "Whatever God you serving, I don't it's not the same God I'm serving."
And
So
it was not.
so
It was
I said,
not.
"Whatever God is telling you that we are supposed to be together, you need to stop listening to him because I'm not getting the same thing you getting."
And let me explain something to you all. My wife don't know. There was a couple of times she almost got caught up There was a couple of times she almost got caught up. And I remember because I felt the anger of God
Mhm.
and I had to pray for her. You remember when you was reading the book where it talked about, I think Rebecca is her name,
Mm.
how she was praying for the young lady because she was being very disrespectful to God.
Oh, yes, 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 when we was
I
yeah,
listen.
and the angel of the Lord came to,
Hmm.
eh eh take
Hmm.
her life.
My wife don't understand that there was a couple of times that I had to literally lie before, like I had to humble
Mhm,
myself and pray for
mhm,
her
mhm,
because God was like, you not like, because he got on me one time, but and I'm telling you, and people not this is gonna mess with people religion. But it was one time because God had me working through some hurt for her. He would have me access hurt of hers within the spirit realm.
mhm.
And I got tired of doing it and I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, it's what's that scripture? Because I read it in a book.
You talking about sharing your burdens or whatever?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where we're supposed to share each other's
You can
burdens,
find it.
um,
But and
laying down
so
our lives
I
for one
I
another.
I was complaining and God had me carry your hurt. And it was just like it was a weight on my chest that was crushing my chest. And he had me drive someplace and he told me you was gonna carry this until you get home. And when you get home from where I told you to drive, you can ask me to lift the burden and I'll lift it. And I was like, God, I don't know if I can do this. I felt like my chest was going to cave in. And he was like, you are complaining about me having you do this for her when she's been carrying this around her whole life. And I got home and I asked God to lift it and I asked God to forgive me. And he finally lifted the burden. And when I tell you, everyone, it shifted my view in things because it was so excruciatingly painful to where I thought I was going to die. And he was like, you're complaining about the stuff I have you doing for her. And this is what she's carrying. She's been carrying this her entire life. And so I didn't understand the weight of it until we got back together and I started, because it's different when you hear God saying, she's been through this. And I won't speak details because that's for you to speak, but she's been through this and this has happened and that's happened and this happened and that happened as I'm praying for her. And he would tell me, now I have you praying for this. I have you accessing this memory. I have you accessing that memory. I have you accessing this of what took place to her when she was 5 years old or that and all of these different things. And so it was a it was a like it shifted my view and it broke me. And so no matter what my wife would say to me, there was a resolve in me that I would, no matter how long it took, I would love her in spite of. So she could do whatever she wanted to do. She could treat me however she wanted to treat me. I would love her in spite of. And I think we should share it. There was an incident. Um, my wife was with someone else. I had a dream about it. I did not want to see it. I pulled myself out of the dream. I had the dream about it in December, actually.
Mhm,
And I'm like, no, God showed it to me. And um, it was hard because, he took me, was it Hosea?
mhm,
I think he took me to Hosea, not calling you a prostitute,
mhm,
but just saying that um, I've still called you to love her no matter what. And it broke me because I was pissed because I'm like, you won't let me do nothing. I can't be with nobody. I can't do nothing with nobody. If I do anything, you take me through the ringer. Why can she do what she want to do and I can't? And God, first of all, one of the things he told me is to whom much is given, so much more is required.
mhm,
And he also told me that you are held accountable for what you know, just as much as she is held accountable for what she knows.
mhm,
But it starts with you because I've called you to love her as what Christ loves the church.
mhm.
So it was a real
Like, we
s-
weren't together, though.
no, we weren't together. But in God's eyes we were.
Mhm.
spiritually,
Spiritually, we
we
were
were together.
together. We were. Mhm.
And so it was challenging, the stuff that we went through, but it came to an end because you had a situation go on at your house.
Mhm.
I had a dream, and in the dream, um, she was having a conversation with her aunt, and she was talking about how um, her daughter at the time, now our child that we share, was bit by a snake at my house. And I was having this dream, and I'm like, I don't got no snake at my house. She ain't even at my house. It
Mhm.
was like a snake bit her at his house. I don't know what he got going on or what's taking place, but a snake bit her at his house. And I woke up, and when I woke up, I had something like a demon that was hovering over my neck. And I immediately began to pray. The interesting thing is that at this time that this was happening, it was the same time when she was going through the situation that she was going through at her house,
Mhm.
where uh, our youngest was being attacked by a snake in the spirit realm.
Mhm. So as it was happening
Hmm.
in the physical
Hmm.
at my house,
Hmm.
you were seeing it
Yeah.
at your house.
Hmm. And I was actually also under attack at my house,
Mhm.
and I was praying, and I'm like, I don't know what this woman is in. And fast forward, you had this stuff going on. You called me over to pray. And she's like, "Oh, he came over to pray." I prayed first because my sister and brother was like, "You ain't
But they
going
don't know
nowhere."
but they don't know because I haven't told them anything yet.
Oh, okay.
So on the other on I'm starting a channel, and then I will let them know.
So you don't want me to talk about that?
No, you could talk about it, but what I'm saying is they don't know because I haven't told them anything yet,
Okay.
because I
Well,
haven't put the video out.
we'll go into part 2 next week.
Yeah,
I think we went
about
through.
how when we got back together, what that looked
Yeah.
like, or what initiated us, or what initiated me to finally accept you,
Mhm.
and,
And spoiler alert, everyone, one of the things that God told me I had to do was fall back and let him deal with her, to show her that, I was who she called me, or who he called me to be. I was who he called her to be with. That's one of the things that he dealt with me on, and
mhm,
I had to do that, and he did.
mhm.
He told her. I didn't even know he told her. She didn't even tell me anything. He just randomly like, "Oh, okay."
What do you mean?
He just told you. You ain't tell me nothing.
What do you mean
When
when
he
he told
told you, when he revealed to you that I was your husband.
No, I knew you was my husband, like, before you even told me that I was your wife, but I didn't wanna accept it, just like you didn't wanna accept that you loved me.
We ain't even gonna get on that because you're like, "Yeah, you love me though. Just say it. Just I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. Not saying that. Not saying I love you. No, because it become real then. No,
Right.
no." So listen, we will continue this next week. Hopefully this has been a blessing. I think one of the things I would say is, and I'll end it here, and I'll let my wife say whatever she wants to say. One of the things I learned within our situation is, it's so important that you just kind of do what God called you to do.
Mhm,
Because we went through so much stuff. Even when we came together initially,
mhm,
we went through so much hell because neither one of us was where God called us to be. Yet, even in the midst of that, God did bring us together to each other. He allowed us to come together to each other, but we messed it up. And He had to separate us
mhm,
and fix the things that we screwed up.
mhm,
However, ladies, He started with me first.
mhm. So the reason why we broke up, it was because he needed to be in a place where he could minister,
Yeah.
start his ministry. God called him to ministry, and his
Mhm.
ministry starts with your ministry starts at home.
Mhm.
Men's ministry starts with their wives
Mhm.
and their children
Mhm.
and their family, and if they can't steward their family at home, you can't steward
A
a
church.
church.
unless God has called you to celibacy. And there are
Mhm.
those that God has called to be like Christ. But
Mhm.
for those that God is not,
Mhm.
that's where your ministry starts is with your family. He would
Mhm.
always tell me that. And because it had been a while since I was in church, I didn't understand it.
Mhm.
He would always say, my ministry starts with you.
Yeah.
Your ministry starts with her. Your ministry starts with her.
And it's biblical. It's in the Bible. I don't remember what scripture it is.
We'll have it for you next week. But he did say, I think it was Paul that was speaking about that, right? Or was it?
No,
What scripture is that?
I think it was it's not Paul.
It wasn't?
I don't believe it was Paul.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I just don't
Um,
remember.
I don't know.
But we can
We'll
find
we'll
it.
find it and have it next week.
Mhm.
But this is really even. There's so many things that we could touch on that we. It's just it'd be a lot. It'd
Mhm.
be hours upon hours of things that we experienced, encounters I had, things God revealed. People ask how you know. There was a plethora of ways that God spoke to me that consistently remind me that she was my wife, including through other people, confirming that it was the case. I'll say one specific situation with Beverly where I was praying for you in the car and I was weary and I was tired. Listen, everyone, when you are going through that process like that, if God has you go through a process like that, it's a lot. It's taxing. And I got tired. I'm like, I don't want to pray for her no more. And Beverly was like, I'll pray. And I was like, okay, cool. And Beverly started praying and God told her, stop. I told him to pray, not you.
Mhm. Mhm.
And she was like, well, because she was even questioning it. And she was like, well, bro, I can't pray for her. God just told me not to pray. He told you to pray for her. So you got to pray for her. I said, see, y'all don't believe me. I told you. I told you. This don't make no sense. What am I doing? I feel crazy. What's going on? I feel crazy. Got me praying for her day in, day out, all the time, nonstop. I can't go nowhere. I can't do nothing.
I
I
can't
can't watch
sleep. I
TV.
can't
I can't
eat.
sleep. I can't eat. I can't do nothing. I'm just praying. What is she doing? What is she doing? I wish she would stop.
I
I
was
want my life back. I want my life back.
I was in bondage. I was in
I had
bondage.
no clue. I had no clue. I was just tired. But yeah, so that's what it was. How do we end this? We talked about a lot.
Yeah, I guess we just pick up where we left off in the next episode.
Okay.
If you guys have any questions or if we needed to elaborate on something else, maybe we could pick it up in the next episode.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So, I don't know.
It's a summary. Well, listen, we thank you all for listening. This is different and this was a lot because I don't like to put people in our business.
No, and we don't. I don't.
Yeah. So we appreciate you all.
But I
And
know this is may possibly help someone else in their journey or
prayerfully,
prayerfully.
if God wants us to share this for somebody.
Yeah. So,
So I still don't know what this episode is going to be named, but we'll see when we put it out.
mm,
Baby, you want to end this out?
thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you for watching.
Hmm.
Please subscribe and comment and share this with others.
Hmm.
That's
And
it. Mhm.
we'll see you all next week. Be blessed.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.